Cedar Rapids historic districts have within them some matchless homes. One of them, at 1403 2nd Avenue Southeast, is in the 2nd and 3rd Avenues district. The home is getting some TLC at the hands of Habitat for Humanity's A Brush with Kindness program. The house was built in 1897. It's about 3,000 square feet with 10 rooms and a ballroom that takes up the entire third-floor attic. The outbuilding was built more than 25 years before to sell tickets to patrons of the racetrack that dominated the area before there were homes or churches. The house is flanked immediately on the west by an 8-unit apartment building and a large church that is in process of expanding.
So taking a look at how this starts to lay out on the site, this is our existing site here. Phase 1, we'd look at, one of the big things is when we're trying to take out some of the existing spaces, we need some expansion room. Dale had mentioned he talked to property owners around the area, and HACAP seemed to be one building that's available and could possibly be acquired.
The prospect of the church's expansion has stirred concern among some preservationists and residents of the historic district. The question of the church's interest in acquiring 1403 2nd Avenue Southeast was raised in a meeting of the congregation.
Have you secured the houses that you'd have to take down going northeast to build phase 2?
That is your property right now. That's where the parking lot is.
Oh, it looked like at least the corner building, the southeast corner of 2nd Avenue and 14th Street was going to be taken down.
No, that's actually going right up to that property line where the edge of that building is. So we purposely did not go there. If there was a possibility to obtain those, it would be great. But we wanted to make sure we didn't have that be contingent on this plan at the time.
The response to the question of the prospect of the church's owning and demolishing 1403 2nd Avenue Southeast and an adjacent house was somewhat hedged. If there were possibilities to obtain those, it would be great, and our plans not contingent at the time being that of the church's second phase of its expansion. Such hedging may suggest worrisome prospects for the house's future. In addition, at present, anonymous complaints about the condition of the house have been filed with the city. The owner, Tamara Dallege, a widow with 3 sons, is presently under court order to have her roof replaced by mid-August 2015 or face the possibility of jail time. Tamara, the neighborhood, and community organizations are marshaling resources to see that Tamara's home does not become a parking lot.
Well, Cedar Valley Habitat for Humanity has, this is our first project this year in 2015 for the Brush with Kindness. The initiative is within the core neighborhoods to beautify owner-occupied homes. Our target for this year is 8 to 10 homes in the core neighborhood area, giving them a sprucing up, as you can see. We couldn't do this without the Greater Cedar Rapids Community Foundation for funding this program for Habitat. They've allocated monies to allow this program to go on for another 2 years. This is my 3rd year. In the years past, what we've done is let's see, we did 18 houses last year, and the previous year I think we did 20 houses. So I think with the community embracement and the volunteerism, today is a United Way Day of Caring, so we have a total of approximately 28 to 30 volunteers. This particular group has come from the Gazette companies. But with this program, it sends a message to the rest of the community that the close-in core neighborhoods are important and shouldn't be forgotten. And paint is a very inexpensive beautification project. One of the better community initiatives, and it couldn't be done without Habitat's involvement in the neighborhood. We also do new construction, and we do infill throughout the community. This year we're doing 8 houses, new construction, but this part of Habitat's program, I feel that it's important, especially to me, because I live in the neighborhood. I'm a resident of Wellington Heights Neighborhood Association, and this is somebody that's in need, and so we've kind of embraced her and her family to give her a hand up. There's a pre-application process. The applicant fills out the pre-application, and there's income guidelines, and if they meet those qualifications, we have them come in and fill out a complete application, which is a financial disclosure. There is some flexibility on that. Based on the number of occupants within the property or in the house, they have to be owner-occupied. Itself is specifically just for minor repairs and painting. It's a maximum dollar amount for each property, and the homeowner has the option to either do a 0% interest loan for 3 years, or once the project's completed, if they can pay half of what the total cost is, we call it good. Quarterly payments. It's a really good program. Normally a house like this probably would, the estimated cost to do a project like this for this house would be about $15,000 for a professional painting crew to come out. And the strength is in the numbers with the hands that are here helping out. Free labor, the paint's donated. A lot of times there's free food and drink, so it's a great program.
Lived in Cedar Rapids for several years, and I was a student at College. We used to drive up and down and just loved this house, and drove by one day and saw that it was for sale, and I thought it was probably apartments. And we happened to meet the realtor over a free couch that was on Free Cycle, and he convinced us that we had to see the house even if we weren't in the market. My husband died the year before, and we were looking for a place for me and my kids. I have 3 sons. Now they're 19, 17, and 15. So, but when we moved in, they were shorter than me. So not anymore. Cedar Valley Habitat for Humanity brought the Brush with Kindness program out to help get the house painted. We had started painting last year, and we weren't getting a whole lot accomplished. I had had surgery, and was kind of in a position where it was just overwhelming for us. And Bob Grafton kept bringing by applications and trying to convince me to apply. And he kind of was the push behind all of this. Right now we have, 15 volunteers out here, and in a matter of a day it went from being blue to being the color that it is now.
Today we have about 30 staff from the Gazette Company, so that's KCRG, the Gazette, Color Web, Fusion Farm, Vernon Research, Shared Services. So we have employees from all of our different divisions coming here today to help out. Well, today the first half of the day has really been about scraping the exterior paint, and then we've got a small crew that's doing some of the exterior painting on the front of the house. The back of the house still needs quite a bit of scraping of paint, so we've got simultaneous projects going on today, and it's a huge, gorgeous house you can see in the back. So a lot of this history. It's on an amazing block with a lot of character, and so we're just trying to spruce it up. Well, we have a couple of different shifts that are going to be coming coming in today. We've got a crew that's here until noon, and then another crew that's here from 12:30 to 4. At the end of that, what we'll do is we'll probably round back with a Habitat for Humanity staff and employee leads and talk about if there's any additional work to be done. I know they've got a couple of crews through the United Way Day of Caring, so yeah, everybody here has just been really excited and happy to be a part of it, and we want to see the project through. So, well, the Gazette Company has been involved in the United Way's Day of Caring for a number of years. We've done a lot of different projects through with a lot of different nonprofits. This year we wanted to give employees a couple of different options. So for the Thursday section of United Way, we actually had a group of us that volunteered with the Cedar Rapids Public Library, and we performed skits for elementary schools throughout Cedar Rapids yesterday talking about their new summer reading program. And then we wanted to give another option which would allow for some outside activity, something that maybe is a little off the cuff, not what we normally do in a given day. So yeah, we were really excited. It's something that we've always really felt is a big priority for our employees to be able to give back, and this is a great way to do that.
Well, it has to have the roof put on. Right now, it's under an order from the city to have the roof done by August 14th. So that's kind of our next push, is to try and find a way to do that affordably. It's very tall and very steep, and the quotes have been very high, accordingly, I guess. That and trying to repair some of the damage to the porch. It's very soft. There's places where I think someone could fall through. So we just want to try and bring it back. There were anonymous complaints about it, and although, I mean, we've had people tell us who it is, there wasn't much we could do about it. I went to court last summer and took pictures of homes that were falling down around me, homes that were boarded up. There were two behind me specifically that the windows were boarded, the porches were falling off. And despite that, there wasn't a whole lot of grace. They said that the nuisance abatement only acts on complaints. So if I wanted to complain, I could complain about those properties, which wasn't my intention. It was just to say, hey, I don't understand why mine is being picked on. I offered for them to come in and look at it from the inside because it doesn't leak, and they still haven't done that. So I have some assistance to pay for about $4,500 of the roof, but so far all of the bids have been around the $25,000 range, which is, as a part-time teacher, a little overwhelming. But we're at the point where we have enough bids to kind of make a decision and then talk to a bank and see what our options are. Last July I was told I had until the end of August last year, and then in January I went to court for contempt of court and was given until August. So they've already given me an extension. Sorry, my time frame was off, but last July when I went in about 14 days before I had abdominal surgery. Asked them for a year to get things figured out, and I was given about 40 days. So I don't expect that they'll give me any grace going forward. The only option I have is to, maybe have a representative from Habitat, maybe Bob could say, hey, we're working with her, this is gonna be done by. But they're pretty adamant about proving a point. The city attorney, and I don't know if it's, but the assistant city attorney or whatever her role is, said, you do realize that this could mean jail time, which I didn't, because it's, of all things that happen in the neighborhood, I didn't think that this would put someone in jail. And also that if you can't afford to do the work on your house, you shouldn't own one, which again, in this neighborhood, I would never have expected that to come out of someone's mouth, but yeah, I'm nervous about the outcome. I teach in the district, and contempt of court could harm my teaching license, which in essence would harm my job, which would, it could be a huge snowball effect, and possibly, but I think it won't matter. I'll still go to jail, so I'm not going to out my family because someone was being a bully. My kids have been here since their dad, shortly after their dad passed away. We've made it our home, and I'm gonna, no matter who's here, the house isn't going to be torn down. We won't let that happen. And if I go to jail, I go to jail. I'm doing the best I can, and you know, there's a lot of people that are kind of behind it now, which is cool. It's been a huge blessing. So, and besides, I might look good in orange. Who knows? I don't know. The house isn't going to be for sale anytime soon because I don't trust it to go into the hands of someone who might be okay with letting it be turned into a parking lot. You know, I figure putting handcuffs on a single mom and a teacher is going to cause some ruckus. Maybe not, but I would like to think that they would think twice about actually putting me in jail and see that, you know, we're trying to do everything we can. And I think that the parties that have complained, it's kind of come to light who that is and what the motivation is behind that. So I think maybe seeing improvements on the house might give the hint that it's not going anywhere anytime soon, that history matters here, and you know, the people that want to preserve history are stubborn. We're all a little stubborn, so.
Yeah, look for the time machine.